do you have some tips on maybe one or two things somebody should start with, or just focus on, so they don't feel like they're drinking from a fire hose?
Grace. Give yourself so much grace.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
I know that's just one tip, but I think that's the biggest one. You know, you have to give yourself grace. If
Mhm.
you are just being a mom, I mean, that's
Yeah.
so much. It's so tiring.
Right. Right. I mean, but that
um,
is incredible in itself. Like, we make humans.
yeah, right.
And yet we're so hard on ourselves.
I mean,
And
yeah,
we consistently think that we're not good enough, and we don't realize all that we do.
yeah.
um
I think if you, especially if you're a mom of two or more, you
mhm.
have to, again, treat, I'm going to keep using this metaphor. You treat your baby like a business. Well, I guess that's a simile, but still, there's the English teacher
Yeah,
in me, right?
no, yeah, right,
Treat your baby like a business. So
right.
you're going to have some newborn nights. What does that mean? You're not going to sleep,
Yes.
you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
And then eventually you're going to have to set up a sleep schedule because
Mhm.
you'll get it a little bit more under control. Your baby is
I
going to
love
get to a
this.
point, your baby is going to get to a point that it um, can handle being on its own for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And you, as a mother, will
Right.
have the knowledge and the
Uh-huh.
ability to leave your baby alone for a little bit longer. So that at that point you can set up
Right.
a sleep schedule.
Mhm.
Um, and then, you know, little by little, then you start, you know, introducing solids. So you start a little bit more different, you know, you get to different
Daycare.
levels in your business. Daycare, you know,
Right.
I
Maybe a
think daycare is
nanny.
what, yeah, I think at that point, that's when you start, you know, maybe outsourcing, you're growing,
Right. A
you
social
know,
media nanny.
social media nanny, those are always great, you know, at socially easy, you know,
Right.
socially dot easy.
I think you
um,
have a new tagline.
right.
Oh my
So it's,
god.
you really have to, and as a new mother, you have to give yourself grace, right?
Right.
And then you have to just really treat it, and understand that it's gonna be super hard at first. I mean, what are the
Right.
hardest parts?
Right.
What's the hardest time frame of a baby? The
Mhm.
first 3 months, right?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
You're getting to know a whole human that just you just popped out. You know, it's
Right.
just like, hey, I'm here. We don't know each
Right.
other, but apparently I have to
Yeah.
take care of you and have to keep you alive.
Right.
So, you have to feed it, you have to change it, you have to, you know, you have to sleep when the baby sleeps, even though that never happens. So
Right.
that right there, that's your business. You have to baby it, you have to
Yeah.
deal with it like that.
Right.
And then it's also a lot of fun when you have two babies at the same time, similar
Mhm.
to what I have, even though thankfully Zoe sleeps through the night. She's a great sleeper.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And then you have to function the rest of the day with your other kids. So
Right.
that's why I'm saying moms of two or more really understand,
Yep.
you know, this concept. And even if you're a mom of one, I mean, you can do it. You
Right.
can do it. I mean,
Well, I think it also lends it to itself. If you're sitting there going, I can't do this, I'm not good enough. I mean, if you're managing a child or more than one children, or more than one child, you're demonstrating that you have some skill to be
mm-hmm,
able to put towards a business
mm-hmm,
that is going to grow
absolutely.
your dreams and not somebody
Mm-hmm,
else's.
yep.
um
And it's so
Absolutely.
amazing to be a role model for your children, right?
Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
I mean, I
you know,
really see that in myself. I mean, both of my girls have demonstrated an entrepreneurial spirit, and we tend to kind of think outside of the box anyway. But it's really exciting to kind of see them think like, hey, what is it that I could do? What could this mean for my life and my future, and what are the things that I would like
mm-hmm.
to achieve? So absolutely. I'm
And I think the important thing is that I feel like most people have these ideas, They just
Mm-hmm.
don't act on it. So how
Right.
special are you that you're acting on it,
Right.
that you're making that leap?
Right.
Right there, I think that's something huge, because a lot of people could be like, oh, I should start a business in whatever,
Right.
but
Well, yeah.
they don't take the time
Right.
to do it. So if you're taking the
Right.
time to even do research about it, right there, you're a step ahead of a whole lot of people.
Right.
And right there, you should be patting yourself on the back, because you're
Right.
taking those steps. You're trying.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean,
and be ready to fail.
sure. I'm by no means an expert podcaster, but I continually meet women like yourself who I find inspiring, and I know
Thank
that
you.
your story is inspiring to other people. I know that there's somebody out there that needs to hear this conversation right now, who rocked a baby last night and is struggling with whether they should go back to work
Mm-hmm.
after, their leave or whatever, and has no idea where to start next, or how that even evolves or works. And
That's so hard. I mean, just
it
trying to think
is.
about if to go back to work or not.
Oh yeah.
That's so
Yeah. And
hard.
and why is it that people consistently ask you that question?
Are you going back to work? I don't know,
When
bro.
are you having another? When are you going back to work? Blah 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 blah. It's like,
Oh my God. And the worst is when you're so I quit my job and whatever. And when I was still kind of not fully in the social media,
mhm,
so many people are like, okay, so what are you doing now? Like, I'm a
right,
mom. What do you mean, what am I doing now?
right. And I
Look at
think,
this child strapped to my chest right now. Do you think this
right.
is easy?
So if you're listening to this and you're not a mom, or somebody who had just had a baby, like, just give them compliments, and
Yeah.
think before you ask things that might induce some pressure on them to do
Yeah.
more than just
Just tell them they're doing a great job. They are keeping a little brand new human that cannot do
alive,
anything for themselves
right?
alive. I
Oh
mean, just
gosh.
cutting their little
Yeah.
nails. I mean, God, that's a mission, especially with little happy feet. Oh
Right.
my goodness.
Yes. I know. Well, I I love this conversation, and I see it leading to more. I don't know where it's going to go. At least I hope we can have more conversations in the future that will
Absolutely.
be helpful to people, because it's so important that women support other women. And we also make sure that we have diversity in women's businesses, and
Mm-hmm.
just all the things. It's so important.
With women supporting women, I think another thing that I did not mention is find a community. Find a
Yes.
community
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that they are your competition, but don't treat you like competition.
Right.
That you just build each other up, which is
Right.
um, somewhat hard to find, but you can't find it. And I
You
think
can
that
find
right
it.
there,
Mm-hmm.
that also helps with the loneliness of
Mm-hmm.
being working from home.
Right. So if people want to connect with you, and they should follow you on Instagram. What's
Mm-hmm.
your Instagram handle? What are all your details where they can follow you? And I'll also include them in the show notes. But yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's my Instagram is at socially.ez, the letters E and Z.
Mm-hmm.
My website is socially ez.com. And but yeah, those are the two best ways to communicate with me, to follow me, all that stuff. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I have a Facebook, but we all know that Facebook is, you just connect Instagram to Facebook. So,
Right.
I mean, you can connect with me on my personal Facebook. I would love that too.
Right.
It's Talisa Suarez Pina. Pina
Uh-huh.
like a pina colada.
Like a pina colada. I love
Yeah,
that. So
with
we
a little
talked
floater
about
on top.
babies and pina coladas today.
Yes.
I love it. Oh my gosh, this is a good one. I didn't know, we didn't know each other that well. We connected on social media, and I instantly just was gravitated towards you and had a conversation with you, and I'm so glad I did. Thank you for your time.
Thank
And
you so much for inviting me. This was so much
oh,
fun.
I mean, I love this. I'm like, it's so important. We all have so much going on, but conversations in the midst of everything are so important. And
Mhm.
podcasts are awesome because you can multitask and you can learn and connect and do all of these other things at once. So
Yes, I love podcasts.
yeah,
I love podcasts,
I do. I
especially
do
crime
too.
ones. So there's
Oh,
no
crime
learning
ones.
there,
Uh-oh.
but whatever.
All right, awesome. You'll have to share in the show notes. I will share Talisa's favorite crime podcast so you can check
All
them out
right.
too. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Talisa. We'll be talking again more soon.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. I had so much fun talking to Talisa, and I appreciate her time so much. Be sure to connect with Talisa on Instagram at socially.easy. And there is a link in her bio to her website, socially-easy.com. And I hope you took away lots of helpful tips as a business owner or entrepreneur from that episode. And wherever you are in the process as a mom, it definitely is possible for you to be able to fulfill your business dreams. And, you have the goals and the dreams that you have for a reason. And you really need to remember that it's your obligation to share that with the world and to figure it out and help to find a way. And I hope that this podcast is a source of a community for that goal. I have some great interviews coming up. I can't wait to bring you. And if you found this episode helpful, I would be so appreciative if you would leave a review, if you would share it. I would love to connect with you on Instagram at Angela, Angela Masciulli, Masciulli. And I'm also looking to start developing some courses. So I'm going to leave a link in the bio, especially for newer moms who are just beginning the business journey and not sure about how to spin all of the plates and how to create things like logos and websites and develop a social media presence and a strategy and to do all of the things and to connect all the dots. I'm really looking to create some courses to help more moms learn how to do all of that, especially in the summer. Sometimes you can have a little bit extra time because you don't have all of the school and after school activities. So if you are thinking, gosh, I wish I just had somebody who would be able to help me learn X about business, complete that form. I'd love to hear your ideas and work towards creating some content to help teach moms more about some of the fundamental things that they need to know, especially at the early stage of business. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to bringing you some great interviews soon. Thanks so much. Have a great week. Bye.